Over the next few days, we are going to be exploring the beautiful country of Albania. This is a country full of secrets and full of surprises, but today we are exploring their capital city. Welcome to the city of Tirana. Now, Tirana, Albania is one of the most interesting cities in the world. It is one of the most historical and one of the most important. It's got a mix of Roman, Greek, Turkish influence, and you can see that not only in the food, but also the architecture. The religions here are really mixed. You've got churches, you've got mosques, so clearly there's a mix between Christianity and Islam here in the center city of Tirana especially. Now this city, it's not a really big city. If you actually look at it on the map, it's not that big of a city, but it has a lot of interesting things to see. And we're starting out right now. We're going to be heading right to the center of Tirana. Our Airbnb is actually really nicely located just west of the central square here in Tirana. But it's a beautiful day. It's going to be a wonderful day, and let's go ahead and get it started here in the center of Tirana. First stop of the day here in Tirana, you've got to come here. This is like the main area. This right here is Skanderberg Square. Now the cool thing about Skanderberg Square is that it's massive. I mean, just look around me, like this place. All of this is Skanderberg Square. And right behind me you can see that is the statue of Skanderberg, who is what this square is named after. Apparently he's a really important historical figure here in Albania. But the square is really nice. I mean, look at those tiles. It's clean, it's really nice. I haven't seen a single piece of trash, which is amazing. It's really clean. I don't know how many times they cleaned this, but I would eat off the tiles in the center of Tirana, because just look how clean it is. And when the sun shines, that is just so shiny right there along the tiles. Now, around here there's a lot of things to do. There is a church, which is right over there. There is a couple museums. There's a mosque. There's just a ton of really cool things to see right here in the center of Tirana from the main square. So when you're starting your tour out in Tirana, this is the place you want to come to. This is the place where you've got the most attractions. People are just walking around casually, like this is just, you know, a normal day. Some of them are getting to work, some of them are biking, and what I really love is just right behind me you've got the street that leads all the way down into, you know, downtown Tirana, but it is just incredible. You also see there's a lot of construction going on. You can see there's a building project behind me there. There's another building project right behind me there. There's just so much construction, so much growth happening. It's busy, but it's not really bustling. It's not, you know, overbearing. It's still nice, clean, quiet. I'm here at 8 in the morning and the square is still pretty much free. There's not really that much people, but it's just incredible. All right, let's go ahead and walk around this area. Now usually at the corner of Skanderberg Square there is an Albanian flag. You can see that's the Albanian flag right there. Now the Albanian flag is red in color. It's got like this black symbol in the middle that looks like two birds came together, or maybe it's one bird with two heads. Usually if it's windy, the flag will just be flying in the air, and I could show you guys, but unfortunately there's no wind at all, so can't see the Albanian flag. Hopefully the wind picks up a little, and as we walk around Skanderberg Square later in the day, hopefully it'll be windy enough for me to show you what the flag looks like. Hi. Hi. Now, Albania has a lot of history. It's been through a communist dictatorship, is currently, you know, a democracy. And one of the best ways to learn about Albanian politics and the history of Albania is to visit this thing right here, right behind me. This is a bunker, and there are thousands of them dotted across Albania. today we're gonna explore Bunk Art 2, which is one of the things right here in the center of Tirana, to really learn more about Albanian history and obviously to learn more about the bunkers and the story behind the dictatorship here in Albania. Thank you. Inside the bunker, and it's amazing how massive this place is. It's really, really big, but they've all got like different rooms showing different parts of Albanian history, from, you know, the fascist regime to Enver Hoxha and his dictatorship. But I'll tell you guys more about Albanian history once we get out of the bunker. There's just so much to see here, and it's just amazing. We've got a cell and a prison here, and it's really, really well done, but I'll tell you guys more once we get out of the bunker. Thank you. We've finally made it out of the bunker. I have to say that's a really, really cool experience. And I think you also learn a lot more about Enver Hoxha along with the dictatorship at the time. I mean, he basically killed everybody. Every minister of the interior was just killed every 2 or 3 years. There's so many ministers of the interiors in 40 years that they were able to make a whole wall of all of them. So there's a lot of them. It's pretty insane how many of them there were, how many people got killed, how many people got imprisoned, put into the work camps, the labor concentration camps. It's really chilling, and it also shows as you look around, like you can see there are like skyscrapers being built around me. I mean, the stark contrast between that and what we have today in modern day Albania, you really get a sense of how incredible and how much progress this country has made just in the past, you know, 2-3 decades. It's really, really impressive. But we're gonna go ahead and keep going on and walking around the city. Alright, next time of the day, anytime I like to visit a new city, there's always something I love to do, which is to explore the food scene in that city, the market scene in that city. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. This right here behind me is Pazari, which is the main market and the main new market here in Tirana, Albania. Now the marketplace of Pazari is filled with all these different amazing things. They've got a lot of souvenirs, but they've also got a lot of olives. And if you love olives, Tirana is the place to be, because they've got a ton of different olives to choose from. But it's just really nice market. It's kind of a new market as well, but always really interesting to go and check that place out. Quick stop here nearby. We've got here the clock tower of Tirana. You can see that right behind me. It's just another tall building with a pointed edge, showing the clock, showing the time. I'm not too sure about the history, but usually these sort of Balkan cities, they each have their clock tower, and this is, again, another big symbol here in Tirana. So it's just a little thing to walk by. There's nothing really there to do. I don't think you can climb up the clock tower, but just another important symbol of Tirana. The next stop we've come to here in the center of Tirana, actually right next to Skanderbeg Square, is this church right here, which looks absolutely amazing. This is the Resurrection Orthodox Church, and just look at it. It is amazing. The drone shots from above, you should have been able to see. It's beautiful, but we're just gonna go inside and I'm gonna show you guys what is inside this church. This is probably one of the biggest Orthodox churches I've actually ever been to. There's not much inside. It's massive. You've got ancient Byzantine architecture, a lot of Jesuses. That it is an Orthodox church. They're known for having just a lot of Jesus paintings in there. And as you can see with the Orthodox paintings, they're very flat in the way the paintings go, so it's a very Byzantine style. But even the chandelier, it reminds me so much of Turkey rather than, you know, Western Europe, sort of Catholic style churches and cathedrals. But that is really, really beautiful, really interesting. It's very, very quiet in there, and they've got like candles that are burning, but it's a place where local Albanians really go. I didn't really see any tourists inside. A lot of Albanians going in there to sort of saying their prayers and everything. So really, really interesting place to go and visit. Now the sun is starting to get a little bit low here in Tirana, Albania, but there's one more thing we have to check out, and that's right behind me. As you can see, it's just a bunch of white little pillar things, but This place is an art installation right in front of the National Gallery, and it's called The Cloud. So this is the inside of the cloud, and it's actually really, really beautiful. I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
It's a really nice art installation. You've got these beautiful sort of just like white bars and these sort of glass plates, and the photos are just amazing here. The shots here are just impressive. Now, what they also have here going on is often a lot of like music concerts and stuff like that, and they have something called the Cloud Festival, which is currently happening this week. So we're actually going to come back later tonight, and we're going to be watching the show here. I don't know if I'm going to film it out of respect to the artists, but it's just a beautiful place. The breeze is nice. Right behind us, that building right behind us is actually the National Gallery. So all the famous artwork from Albania is actually hidden in that building. But this structure here is really, really fun. And the best part is you can actually come up onto that. So if you see, we're actually right now on top of the cloud. So you can actually climb up to, you know what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels of the cloud. So it's really, really cool. It's almost like a amphitheater sort of vibe, but it's beautiful. It's a really, really beautiful place, and we're gonna go ahead and keep going around Tirana. All right, so we've come to this park, which is near Enver Hoxha's house right here. Now this used to be an old checkpoint into the city of Tirana, which is fine, but look, we've got a real bunker here. We've got an actual bunker. Oh, this is so interesting. We're gonna go ahead and try and walk into the bunker. A bunch of Albanians are looking at me weirdly. Okay, oh wow, look how low that is. Oh man. Oh. Oh, whoa. Look at this place. You can actually see this is an actual bunker, and you can see they've got these like old machine gun turrets where they will put the machine gun and they'll actually aim it outside and start firing. This is insane, but these are the types of things that you can do here in Albania. Now then, when I get out of the bunker, and we're gonna go ahead and continue exploring this park, because this park has a lot more other bunkers. This is just one of many bunkers here in this park. We've now come outside of the bunker, and we are currently inside the park. Now there are other bunkers. You can see there's actually one just directly in front of me, but you can't really go into them. That was the only one where you could actually go into, which is fine. But this place is really, really quiet, and there's just a bunch of locals here. Some people walking their dogs. But we're just gonna watch the sunset from here. I'm gonna go in and get the drone up, and I'll show you the beautiful views that Tirana has to offer. To end the night, the sun has already set, but Tirana's just waking up. This is the night market here. It's just a bunch of pop-up stalls with like jewelry, candy, and everything, and the lights. Those lights are absolutely amazing. This is just south of Skanderbeg Square, and it's a really nice walking street. No vehicles, and they've got a lot of delicious, nice food as well. But this is where we're gonna really be ending the night tonight. It's just this beautiful street here. It's absolutely stunning. But I've absolutely loved every second of my time here in Tirana today. It's just so much to offer. It's really, really is such a beautiful place to be. And it just has really so much history, so much culture, so many things to do. So definitely if you come to Albania, don't skip Tirana. There is quite a bit, and it's a nice city to visit. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.